Hello, 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 beautiful people of the world. Welcome to the Yacht Heroes. Here you can learn and flourish with the thoughts, ideas, and the stories of the Yacht Heroes. So, who are the Yacht Heroes? They are the movers and the shakers of the yachting industry. And I am today honored and pleasure to invite my very first guest on this first episode, Kelly Gordon, the super yacht captain. Imagine a yacht without a radar. How it will happen? No, it's not possible. A life without purpose is like ship without radar. So we need compass, we need captain. We need captain in our life to guide us, to mentor us, to take us on the right path, to the right journey. And this is why this episode is designed specifically to invite our special dear guest, Kelly Gordon. Captain Kelly J. Gordon is an accomplished motor yacht captain, social media influencer, and public speaker. Her thirst for the adventure has propelled her to become one of the busiest and most respected captains. She takes pleasure in sharing her knowledge and experience with her 29,000 plus social media fans. And in 2022, she was honored with a Crew Yachting's Master 500 GT award. Fantastic. Kelly started her career far from the water as she grew up on a farm in small town Indiana. It was her drive to succeed, learn, and thirst for adventure that led her to a career in yachting. As a former chemistry professor, Kelly loves to teach, and it is certain that she will always find a moment, or many, to share what she knows with others and look to encourage and inspire those that dream of a career in the yachting industry. That's what we call yacht heroes. Second to none, powerful, passionate, encouraging master, Captain Kelly Gordon. Welcome to the Yacht Heroes. Welcome, Kelly, to the Yacht Heroes. Thank you so much for your precious time. I am so delighted and honored to see you here today. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. And I guess I'm the first guest on Yacht Heroes, so that makes me even more excited.
Yes, indeed. You are my honorable best guest. You're a passionate captain, super yacht captain. It's the first show, first episode, Yacht Heroes. But also this will be telecast and broadcast on my Happy Idea show also. This is my other podcast, which I do. So it's an honor and pleasure. And thanks so much for your precious time. And our audience is very excited to learn and flourish from your wise wisdom.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to share.
Kelly, please tell us who inspired you and how you found this passionate career being as a world-class captain in this yachting industry.
You know, it's so funny. I get asked this question a lot, and I think that the answer surprises a lot of people because I actually grew up the furthest thing from the yachting industry. I actually grew up in a small town in north central Indiana, so completely landlocked. I mean, the biggest body of water is a small lake. And I actually didn't even know what yachting was, and I actually didn't see the ocean until I was 23 years old.
Wow.
So definitely a late bloomer when it comes to yachting. And so really what it was is I had moved to North Carolina to pursue my master's degree in chemistry.
Okay.
And really had no idea of just how close I was to the ocean and how I was like right there. And I really had no idea that I was in a major port town for yachts transiting on the East Coast. I just none of it all sunk in because I moved there to go to college and get a job. And so after grad school, I got that job, and there was a non-traditional student who, coming back for her second career, her and I just got along really well. And I didn't know at the time, but she was a very integral part of the town. And she just loved showing people this cool little tourist town that we lived in that I still had no idea about. And she liked people. She loved where she lived, and she just wanted to share it with everybody. And so she kept asking me to go out with her. And I said, look, I can't. There's a conflict because I'm a teacher, you're a student. And she kept badgering me. So finally I said yes when grades are turned in. And the first place that she took me was to a party on a yacht.
Wow.
And I'll never forget walking down the dock, and I look at her and I'm like, is this where we're going? And she's like, yeah. And I said, is this a yacht? And she says, yeah, it is. And like first, like this is a huge first for me. And so I'll never forget the feeling. I climbed the sea stairs up to the back deck, and I literally just had one foot onto the back deck. And I
Wow.
said, and I looked around and I said, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
And the crazy thing is that I didn't know bow from stern or port from starboard. I knew nothing, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Wow. What an incredible journey from surprising to superhero, yacht hero.
I know. So I blame it on Joanne all the time. I tell her, I was like, this is all your fault.
Well, someone has to inspire us in our life, right? As a captain,
100%.
you navigate a lot of, goes to a lot of romantic ports and navigate and guide. So that's someone in the childhood or in the early, someone
And
came
you never know who it's going to be. And that's the thing is I like to always express to people or remind people, always have your eyes wide open for opportunity.
True. Very true.
Because you never know when the most amazing and life-changing opportunity, in this case for me, is going to be presented right in front of you and going to fall right in your lap. And unless you're open to that,
Yeah.
You're gonna miss it. And so I'm just always like, make sure your eyes are peeled, even if it's something that you might not think that you're interested in. Like, I didn't even know what the yachting industry was, but
Yeah.
I just always lived with my fully aware of what
Yeah.
was going on around me. And that opportunity came from a student,
Wow.
who has been a longtime friend now, and whoever would have thought. So you just really have to keep your eyes open
Keep
for
your eyes open,
opportunity.
yeah.
You never know as soon as it's going to fall right in front of you.
I know. Yeah, in my coaching and training, I do that same thing. And I ask my students and clients, say, do you know who is the most expensive person in any organization? So they give all the best answer. I said, according to me, the person with the closed mind is the most expensive because he's going to cost you a lot. If he or
Yeah.
she is not aware of that, the opportunities may neglect the call or may neglect or avoid some messages, even from email or some phone call. Openness is so important, and closed-mindedness is the most expensive thing. So as you said that, keep your eyes
You're
open.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, let's go. So what type of problem or challenges, Callie, did you face before becoming the world-class super yacht captain you are?
Wow. Well, first of all, I didn't know the slightest thing about yachts, but aside from that, I mean, I think there's the obvious. It's a male-dominated industry, and
True.
I'm a woman. And so if we go back to 15 years ago now, there's already so few female yacht captains, but 15 years ago, there was even fewer.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, when they ask about that, expect they're going to get some sort of response that maybe I've encountered a lot of chauvinism, or I've encountered maybe a lack of support, and I haven't.
Wow.
And this, I think, really comes from a couple of things: mindset and your approach.
Wow.
And so, and I also attribute this from having grown up on a farm. So since I have been little bitty, I have been in male-dominated careers. I went from farming to welding to chemistry to yachting. Well, think about it though. All of those are male-dominated careers. And so I have had to learn how to become accepted and be respected and be welcomed in. And in every single one of those careers I have, but I think it's because I came in to each of those with a respect for the guys that were there. I had a great deal of respect, admiration. I was like a little sponge. I wanted to know everything that they knew. And I didn't come in, and I see a lot of women coming in kind of slinging elbows, and that's not going to work. I mean, let's face it, it's a bunch of guys, and the guys are not going to welcome you if you come in slinging elbows and acting like you know everything and disrespecting the years of experience and knowledge that they have. So that was my approach.
Okay.
And I knew that if I showed that respect and I let them know that I was going to pull my own weight and that I was going to show up, and I have gotten nothing but the most amazing support.
Wow.
And the second thing about that though comes mindset, because have there been a couple of sticks in the mud along the way? Yes, there have. There have been some men that have just flat out told me that a woman has no business doing what I'm doing.
Well,
I've had another man assume me to be the stew, and then after he went from guessing that I was the stew to then the chef to then on and on, and the captain was the last position that he guessed, he was like, "Well, I can't believe you're doing that." So
no.
what I did, and this is where I'm saying mindset comes in, is whenever I come across any naysayers or people that didn't believe in me, I flipped that. I kind of flipped the script and I let that be fuel for my fire. And so I
Yeah,
was like, it was kind of almost like, oh yeah, you think I can't do it? Watch this, you know? And so I took that though, and where my mindset could have been one of discouragement or getting mad, what I did was I flipped that around and I let that be motivation.
wow.
So
Incredible.
here I've got men that are encouraging me, which was probably 90% of them, 95% of them. And the other 5% that weren't, I
Yeah,
was letting them add drive to me. And, but that 5 or 10% of men could have carried so much heavier of a negative weight, even
hmm,
though it was a small percentage. But then, so that's the other thing too, is I kind of, going back to mindset, was there probably really more men that didn't want women in this industry? Maybe,
maybe.
but I kind of put my blinders on and
Yeah,
I was like, I'm only letting in my bubble or in my view people that are
true.
going to help me.
Yeah,
So that I think mindset and approach has
wow.
been really
Fantastic.
huge.
No, this is very well said that in a very smart and very creative way you have articulated that the way the challenges and problem you overcame and you had a profound mindset towards to see the whole donut, not the only the hole in the donut. And you overcome with that adversity a little bit. We have it being in a male dominating area. That's so true till today as well. It's a very handful amount of genius, hardworking and smart captains like you are female oriented there.
Well, thank you. And now it's just, now it's not, it's kind of cool because you can see it changing.
It
Now
is
it's
indeed. It
not
is changing. Yes,
not
it's
the
changing.
female captain. Now I'm just known as Captain Kelly, as if it's Captain Kelly, Captain John, Captain, whoever. And
Yes,
and not so much it being a female captain anymore, but so that's really cool to see. But
lovely.
I've come in and I've done the work, and the men have just been nothing but amazing in this industry for me.
Yes, true. Thanks so much. And I really admire that what you just said. You was kind of sponge in the beginning, and according to my learnings, that once Thomas Edison said that, that was the story said that how true it was. I'm not sure, but that makes so sense to me. He said, "I want to know everything. I want
Hmm.
everything. I want to learn everything. I'm like a sponge. Give
Yeah.
me. I need all the facts and fictions and everything." And when we are learning, we're observing things. These are the qualities of the profound and smart people as you are. So let's go to the. So Kelly, tell us, like, how did your first yacht owner found you? Did you find him or her, or how did you find your first yacht owner?
So, well, we found each other at the same time. And it was at this party that Joanne, my friend, had taken me to.
Okay.
And I could see that they were having an event. They were having I think it was a wedding reception for their friends.
Uh huh.
And I could see very quickly when I walked on that he needed some help. He had help there, but it just got really busy really fast.
Okay.
And I could tell that I could tell he was the man, I could tell he was the guy. And
Yeah.
I literally walked up to him, didn't even introduce myself, didn't even shake his hand. I could just see that he was stressed. And I was like, "Hey, do you need some help?" And he immediately was like, "Yeah, do this, 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 and this."
Yeah.
So here I am on this boat. The only person I know is Joanne. Here I am on this boat. I don't know anybody. And I start saying, "Okay, you put this here, you put this here, you do this, you do that." And everybody is looking around like, "Who's this broad?" Like who is this? And so and then from then on, clear down to when the engines got started, I
Hmm.
became very inquisitive. So this yacht was owner operated, so the owner and the captain were the same person.
Okay.
And so clear down to when he went to start the engines, and then I was like, because growing up on a farm, I'm very mechanically inclined, and I love being outdoors, and I love tinkering with engines and stuff like that. you know, and then, so immediately I had jumped in to help him. And then the next thing was, I was like, well, where's the engine room? I want to see that, you know?
That's the main part.
So he saw very quickly, and he explained this to me years later.
Okay.
He saw very quickly my curiosity, my drive, my tenacity, my eagerness. He saw these things and he said, you don't see that much in people anymore. And he said, when I saw that, it was very refreshing.
True.
And he says, I just wanted to take you under my wing and teach you everything that I knew.
What an honor. Wow.
It was. But again, keeping your eyes open for opportunity. So, you know, when people ask in this industry, well, did you have a mentor, or how important is a mentor? Oh my God, it's extremely important. Well, then the next question is, how do I find one? Well, it's not like you can just go to, you know, mentor.com and, you know, buy one. Again, you got to keep your eyes open for the opportunity. You gotta be aware. You gotta be paying attention. And when you find that person that you just fit with, then that's your person. And so that's what happened. Is he saw something very refreshing in me, and for me, I was like, well, my God, this guy's loads of knowledge. He's sailed around the world solo successfully, and he has been in the industry for such an extended amount of time. And I was like, I just wanted to absorb everything that he knew, and he was willing to teach me everything that he knew.
Wow. That's incredible. That's what a journey that you are aware of that, also the surroundings, and you kept your eyes open and being in present and sensible, as you said, the mindset. And once someone very beautifully said that opportunity meets preparation meets opportunities, and you are preparing and you are prepared, and here you are. You hammered, you nailed it, that opportunity.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So can you tell us about what action plan do you give to the yacht owners and to the crews before and after heading towards the new romantic ports each time in order to have a successful journey? What action plan do you give them to yacht owners? Yeah.
To the yacht owners, like, let's say if we're getting ready to go on a trip, or when
so when you decide towards when you decide for a new romantic port, new ports, you're trying to go for a new journey, what are the action plans you give to yacht owners and also to your crew, that as being a captain, what are your strategic planning that you tell them? Now we're going to this port, these are the essential things that we require and we should be maintaining. What action plan? I mean, you're a captain. Because of you, everything moves. It doesn't matter if the daughter has to follow.
It's communication.
Okay.
It's communication. So when we're deciding to, let's say we're deciding to go to the Caribbean for the winter.
Yes.
We'll discuss that that's in fact where the boss wants to go. Kind of the boss will say, here's where I want to go. Yeah. And then he kind of looks to me to make it work. And then he also looks to me to let him know what will work and what won't work, to be realistic about where can we go, where is it safe to go, you know, cost of things, when can we go, weather and safety and all of those things. So he will, it's a very intimate communication where he expresses where he wants to go, kind of his wish list. And then I look at the wish list and I work very hard to make that happen.
Wow.
In the confines of things like weather and safety and what makes it work. Then I get with the crew, and with the crew, we all, it's very much a together effort. It's not one of those that I plan the itinerary and this is where we're going. It's very much every single one of them sitting down with them saying, this is where the boss wants to go. This is what I think, because my crew all have, a variety of experiences. You know, for example, I've got, my engineer has spent his entire time in the Mediterranean. So he knows the Med better than any of us do. But I've spent so much more time on this side of the pond. But my first officer has spent even more time in the Caribbean than me. So we sit down with one another and we say, here's the plan that we want to build. Here's the itinerary that we want to build. And then we talk about all of the things from the fun stuff to the logistical stuff, to the security issues, to, again, weather and all of the logistics. We lay it out there on the table, and then collectively, we build a plan. So it's nothing surprising. It's communication.
Communication. I know that's the key. Yeah. Very wonderfully said that, I was listening to a Warren Buffett's one live video. The one of the young adults asked him, say, "What are the peaceful advice will you give to young adults?" He said, "Number one key is the communication."
Mhm.
He said,
Yeah.
like, he said very funnily in a joking manner. He said, like, if you take a girl to a dark corner and you do nothing and she's waiting for what? Communication. What are you going to do in a romantic way either? So
And
that's, yes,
something too that I find that captains struggle with, and I get this, is saying no.
no,
And and there are times in your captaincy when it's appropriate and necessary to tell the owner, this won't work, this isn't safe, this isn't a good idea.
nice.
And I get it because we all have bills to pay. Maybe we've got a wife or a husband at home with kids, or
Yeah,
we've got a family back in another country that we're supporting, that we're the sole support for. I get it. You got to put food on the table.
true.
And you don't want to risk saying no and ultimately losing your job. But
Yes,
I think the importance needs to be stressed and even encouraged to captains to be okay with saying no to a yacht owner, because
nice.
yacht owners collectively,
Yes,
this isn't all, but they don't like to be told no.
yes.
They want to go where they want to go, and they want you to just magically make it happen. But
Lovely.
I think that if you think about it, though, that particular businessman or woman didn't get where they got by everybody being a yes man. And even though they may not want it, they would rather you say, no, this isn't safe for XYZ reason,
True.
than you do it and then something tragic
What
happens, very
happened?
expensive, somebody gets injured, something like that. So that's just kind of a bit of a side
Communication,
note
yeah.
that I think
So true.
that, you
I
know,
agree with that. Well, tell us, Kelly, that what sustainable procedure do you take and recommend other captains and crew to protect Mother Earth and ocean? What sustainable procedure do you take and you recommend?
the number one is plastic. The number one is the use of plastic on board.
Okay.
So, and look, and it's hard to get away from any use
Yeah.
of plastic. But one of the things that I've implemented on board is no more plastic water bottles. It's all reusable water bottles. We're
Nice.
also in the process of putting a really advanced filtration system on the boat so that we can take our water straight from the tap,
Yes.
and not have to worry about that. So that, and then things like plastic anywhere we can eliminate the use of plastic. On the interior, my Stu's really good about making sure that the cleaning materials that she uses are biodegradable,
Sustainable. Yeah.
sustainable, eco-friendly. The guys outside are nuts about it. They're like, and I was really proud of them. They took this on their own. I have a lot of my crew have been with me for a long time,
Yeah.
and one of them at the time, he was deckhand. He's my first officer now, but as a deckhand, he took it upon himself, and he was like,
Yeah.
hey, he researched a bunch of chemicals that he was using on the teak and on the paint and that kind of thing. And he came to me and he said, hey, this is what I want to use. This is more eco-friendly.
Yes.
This is more biodegradable. And so everything that they use on deck
Yes.
is friendly to Mother Nature.
Lovely.
And so, yeah, so we do our best where we can.
Lovely.
You know, obviously it's kind of hard running a fast boat that guzzles the fuel, but you know, we try to do what we can. You know, another thing that I was very adamant about too
Yes.
was we have a pretty healthy fishing program.
Lovely.
But I
Nice.
was very adamant about the way that they fished, you
True.
know,
True.
clear down to making sure that, you know, any garbage line got out of the water so that birds weren't ingesting it or other animals weren't getting tied up into it, or that, you know, if we're going to fish and we're going to keep fish, we're going to eat it, you know.
Yeah.
So very, very by the book kind of fishing program I'm really adamant about, and they've done a great job with that.
Lovely. Yeah, this is very fantastic information you have given, and I hope many other people will practice, and they must be practicing, but it's an eye-opener thing as well. You know, when I do training and coaching, and I always say in the sustainability and maintaining environment, sometimes people say, oh, it's garbage, throw away. I say, throw away where? Throw away
Yeah.
where? Where? It doesn't go out of Mother Earth. It goes to the ocean. And from there, where? It doesn't go. When we say, oh, throw away, this is garbage, this is recycling. But where does it go? The question is that. It never goes out of the earth.
I know.
So thanks for sharing that profound thing. Now, you've been expert in this industry. Now, this question might really help you to the people who are new yacht owners. If someone has to buy a new yacht, what are the essential things they need to they should keep in mind before and after investing a big amount? So, if someone want to buy a new yacht, so what are the essential things they should keep in mind?
How they want to use it. How they want to use it. So I mean, for example, and it's unfortunate that I've seen this happen, is that owners will buy a yacht thinking that they want to use it one particular way, but that ends up not being what really fits for them. So, yes. And what I mean by that is, do you just want a more of a day boat style yacht that, you know, Pershing style, go fast, going to get you there? Yeah. And you're stopping from town to town to town, getting off? Or do you want something where you can spend a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even longer, living comfortably on it, exploring? So you really have to, as an owner, you really have to sit back and think about what you want to do, and also look at how you're currently living. Are you currently doing that? What kind of an explorer are you? Or are you someone that maybe doesn't want to really go too many places? Or you've got someone that maybe wants to go all the way around the entire world, and you want to go to the polar regions and you want to see it all. Yeah. So you really, as an owner, really have to take the time to sit back and ask yourself how you're going to use it. But also knowing that you change along the way too. You know, I worked for an owner that had the go fast style kind of day boat, but then now as the family grows and grandkids come along and stuff like that, starting to see that, oh, maybe the more traditional yacht style with more volume and more space, it's not going to get me there as fast, but it's going to give me a better experience on board in terms of usability, if you will.
Lovely. Yeah, that's a very well put it. Thanks for sharing that, Kelly. Now, you in this industry deal with a lot of yacht builders, yacht owners, marines and brokers and all. It's always seen that as in the yachting industry, for me, has been over a decade too. Buying yacht and boats are not a big deal. While selling, when it comes to sell, it's a very terrific pain or suffering, or maybe a procedure too. According to you, what are the easy method when it comes to someone has to sell the yacht or boat? What are the challenges they face and they should overcome? So can you just shed some good light on that? If someone wants to sell it, what are the procedure they can take that can ease their process? Because selling comes at a very lot of hoops and hurdles. So in your experience, would you like to share that?
To me, that's much deeper than the way one may think. Because so if you think about the one thing that's really going to cause you to lose a large amount of money when you're going to sell your yacht, is going to be how well it's maintained over those years. So how well was it cared for? And why that's much deeper than just that is because I find that a lot of maintenance slips through the cracks when there's a high turnover rate.
Yes.
And high turnover in this industry is something that, as you know, is pretty big.
Yes.
So if you think about it, if you're getting a new captain or a new engineer, any crew member, and the turnover is really high, each time that turnover happens, there's projects that are not going to get handed over or turned over as they should. Things are going to get missed. Things are going to lapse. And I see that and have seen that all of the time is the boats with a higher turnover suffer in terms of their care because they haven't had that continuity.
So true.
And then also, but this goes back onto every boat has a budget.
Yes.
And this is where, so you can look at this two ways. Okay, turnover of crew, and the crew, you know, are missing taking care of the boat. But then there's also the owner that doesn't want to allow the crew to spend any money. Yes. And yachting is not for the poor man. And I hate to say it just like that, but it is not.
So
you know,
it is.
I mean, you can clip that out if you want, but I mean, it's not. It just isn't. And so
the elephant out there, you can't
let's just get the elephant out there. Yes, you know. So when you have owners coming in that have a super tight budget and they don't want to allow you to fix this or fix that or maintain this or improve that, ultimately they're going to be the one that suffers in the end.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that it needs to be, you throw the checkbook at the captain and say buy whatever you want. That's not what I'm saying at all. There needs to be a budget and there needs to be accountability, but you also need to make sure that the budget you're providing your crew with is one that's realistic, because it is, crew can only stretch pennies so far. And I have been on those boats, both where there's a very tight budget and one where there isn't a budget at all. And it's really, really hard when the owner goes to sell this boat and it happened to me and looks at me and says, well, why isn't XYZ in better condition? And I'm like, sir, if you go back to this email on this day, I asked you, if we could fix this. And he said no. So that gets me into another thing. As crew, you need to record your stuff because that will happen to you. The owner will forget, maybe not maliciously, but he will say, well, why didn't this get fixed? Why didn't this happen? And if you can say to him, sir or ma'am, we had this conversation and you told me it wasn't in the budget. And so I find too that it's very important for crew to teach the owners, because he may own the yacht, he or she may own the yacht, but they're not the expert in the industry.
Experts in that.
We are the experts. We are the experts, and it's our job to teach them and to train them. And however you have to do that, whether it's a direct approach or an indirect approach, and for me, with some owners, it has been, I can be very direct and say this just isn't working, or some of the approach needs to be let them see what happens when XYZ doesn't, and then they go, oh, okay. So I think sometimes we forget as crew that it's we're the experts. We're the ones that need to teach them, and we're the ones that, need to show them what's proper.
I agree. So strongly agree. I'm also in this industry for, as I said, for over 1 decade and all. It comes down to when sometimes some yacht owners are generous. They will spend the money, whatever the necessary maintenance has to be done regularly. But some will cut corners, will say, we'll do later and all. And you got a cookie chips underneath your hulls and all this coming in, or the interior is sogging, there not much of winter heaters, even small things can build up when the summer comes in, and when the actual things to go rock and roll on the sea, that it's the engines are not well maintained and it's winterization is not done, and also small cutting corners, then it builds up and it costs more money actually in future to maintain the boats, and that's why they depreciate the value in the marketplace and the boats are not being sold. So I really agree that maintenance and communication experts can tell the owners politely, diplomatically, and explain them, these are the reason if you don't fix now, it will cost you a lot of big money. Thanks for sharing your insight.
Yeah, no, and those and what you say, emphasizing that, that we need to, and it's our responsibility to educate them, and I know sometimes those conversations can be uncomfortable, but then the end result is going to be more uncomfortable, so it's have the uncomfortable conversation now and explain it to them versus what happens down the road when they're staring there looking at you, well, why didn't this happen? And some of the owners just genuinely don't know. Like I said, it's not their expertise, it's ours.
Yeah, I agree. Strongly agree. Yeah, and that's why I manage several boats and yachts in past too as well. And I always tell before they hire me for my services and all. Also, I'll say, so these are the must things to do. These are some must and third must. So these are the must that if you're ready to invest and maintain regularly, keeping the shining and the wax on the boat and the exterior parts and the hull and the gel coats and all, and the engine oiling and everything, and winterization. So these are the must things that if you take care in the long run, your boat will have a value in the marketplace when you will sell or even exchange. So some owners understand, some will say, well, we'll see. I say, well, I'm making it in a contract that this is what I said, and don't come back to me and then say, oh, why would you not, Mr. Bains, inform me? All right. Well, thanks for sharing this insight. Now, Kelly, please tell us that we talked about yacht and all. We want to talk about a little about marinas too as well. So what changes or improvement do you think that you want to see between the yacht owners and marinas? But now you go to the most romantic ports from around the world. So there is always challenging of parking and docking and all. Some are polite, some are not, some are language difference in a different country and Europe and all. So what are the changes or improvement you want to see between the yacht owners and marinas?
So what kind of improvements do I want to see amongst owners, and what kind of improvements do I want to see
Yeah, I
amongst
mean,
marinas?
between when they collaborate together, and then there's always somehow the other, their challenges going to the new ports, and their customs and rules are there. So what are the key things that you want to highlight, that these are the things, usually it's one of the things that is always suffering or joy as well?
That's the question of the week. It's funny that I just had someone reach out to me yesterday, and they're like, "Hey, can you give me 20 minutes to talk about
Wow.
marina must-haves?" And I was like, "Okay."
There it is. You can ask the gentleman or man to listen to our podcast now.
I know, right?
Go
So,
ahead.
specifically, I can tell you where I'm at, and currently I'm at the town of Palm Beach Marina in Palm
Nice.
Beach, Florida, and they have done an amazing job with it. And
Wow.
I'm using them as an example because they're top of mind, and I'm at the marina now, looking out the window, and they have done some really awesome improvements. One is the docks are concrete, they're floating,
Nice.
they're wider, they're longer. And also the different distance in between piers, the spin room that they give you. We've got more room to spin the boat, back the boat in and out. The docks, the slips are wider. The power on the docks is amazing.
Wow.
The power is just so good. We've never really had any issues with the power, and they've got all that you need in terms of power on the pedestal.
Nice.
They've got in-slip pump out. So you
Okay.
don't, every boat can stay right where it is in
Nice.
terms of the pump out, and they don't have to move. Security is amazing. There's cameras everywhere. The gates to the parking lot and the gates to the docks
Nice.
have to have a keyed access,
Oh,
like a
please, yes.
Bluetooth key kind of thing. They have onshore shower and bathroom. They
Nice.
have a mail room at every dock. So they sort and deliver our mail right to us and at the end of the dock. They have 24-hour security, so even
Fantastic.
when we're around at night, there's somebody here. And they have off-site resources for us. So they have like an off-site weight room. They have an off-site 3 golf courses, and
Fantastic.
one other perk they have for us off-site, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But more than all of that, more than the docks, more than the power,
Yes.
more than the pump outs, more than the amazing nightlife of Palm Beach and West Palm Beach, and great source for provisioning and purchases and stuff like that. Above all that is
Yes.
the people. It's the
People.
service.
Service.
Yes. And every time you're out on the dock, everybody says hi. They work really hard. Like, the whole entire staff works really hard to know your name and to know
Yes.
each of my crew members' name and where we're from and about us
Yeah.
and what we need and when we're coming and going, and just taking the time to, clear down to, if you're not smiling that day, they want to know why you're not.
Okay.
And so that really goes a long way for me. And I think it does for the owner too, to know that the owner, he's well cared for. If we're well cared for, he's in turn well cared for.
Yeah.
And so that literally, that's no sales plug. Palm Beach should put me on like the sales team, right?
They should hire you for your sales expert too. They should pay you for that,
right?
too, describing all the features and benefits of the marina.
I know, but really, for anywhere I go in the world, I've been at all sorts of different marinas that have had good facilities, crappy facilities. What it comes down to at the end of the day, really is anywhere, is the people.
Nice. Agree.
How willing are the people to help you? How happy are they to see you? How accommodating are they? Obviously safety is paramount, but and access to resources and stuff that we need to keep the boat going. But really, it's the people. And I've been to some marinas that, are a little rickety and could use some love, but I go there because maybe the dock master is just so awesome, or maybe even the owner of the marina, small mom and pop marina, is just really cool, So I think you can't stress enough, at least for me, what makes this industry for me is the relationships that I have. And I say it all the time, with the people that are all the way around the world, knowing that I could go anywhere in this world. And if I needed something, there would be someone that I inadvertently know.
This is what we call Captain Kelly's ruling planet on Earth and sea as well too. Now, I really admire what one of the punchline you just said in that safety is paramount. Now, my next question is regarding to that, and I've seen your videos and some incident happened when you were working, and it was very unpleasant. The second question is about regarding safety. Now, mostly the crews on the yachts and boats are female. Now, how do you protect your passionate crew from getting exploited by the unethical behavior of some unprofessional yacht owners? I know it's a very, because we need to protect our women, sisters all around the world, those who and brothers and sisters are working as a crew. I'm not saying not all yacht owners, they're classy, world-class, elite, sophisticated owners are there. But there are some. How do you identify that, and how would you protect or suggest your passionate crews to be aware of that unethical behavior? What are the signs they should know and be aware?
It's a very good question.
Thank you.
And very good question. And so the owner that I work for now, fortunately, and it's taken me years to find them, are amazing. They're professional, whatever we need. They just take such amazing care of us. Now, I have had other owners that were not like that. And I left, regardless of how bad I needed the money, regardless of how bad I needed to pay the bills. If they were not safe, what's the word you want to use? If they're not good, let's just say that.
Unprofessional.
Yes, if they're not a good owner, I'm out the door, and I think that has come from a place of also just growing up and wisdom and confidence, though, knowing my value and my worth and that I can walk out the door. That's True. Probably come from my mom, where my mom just ingrained in us, you don't put up with crap, Yeah. And so I try to instill that in my crew as well. And I'm very, let's go back to when I was chartering. Okay. Sure. Because any sort of owner that didn't fit the bill for me, I left. So I didn't stick around for any length of time. So let's go to when I was chartering, when, you have a different group. I mean, we were jamming out 20 weeks a year. So we've got every other week, we've got a different personality on board. And now, I worked very closely. I had the most amazing charter manager, worked very closely with her so that she could fit the charterer with our personality, because she knew what kind of boat we were and how we ran. And she wanted to put the right personality with our personality. But let's take that aside from that and just say that I would get whoever on there. And I did. I had a couple of charters in which one of my crew members that had worked with me for many years was a female. She was my deck stew. But I had worked with her. I think I took her on when she was 19 years old. And so I just instilled in her, and she watched my behavior and knew that I didn't put up with any crap. And I'm very open, and I'm very warm and fuzzy. I'm very authentic in my own self. And I find that important to lead with authenticity, because if you lead with authenticity, then that just makes the space for your crew members very comfortable. So they will tell me things that I don't think maybe they would say in other situations with maybe other styles of leadership. And she came to me and she told me that she had a guest on board that was making some pretty lewd comments, and she couldn't get him to stop. Wow. And we happened to be cruising down the river, and I saw a dock and I pulled over at the dock, and she said, "What are we doing?" And I said, "We're tying up for a minute so I can go speak to him." Yes. And I also at that time was working for an owner. This was a client of the owners. So I was taking the owner's client out, kind of whining and dining him. So I knew there was business on the other end of this. So I knew I couldn't mess it up for the owner. But I also knew that the owner would not put up with this. So I pulled over down on the going down the river at this dock tied up. And I went to this fella and I said, look, I said, the comments that you're making to my deck Sue are inappropriate. And I said, you've got two choices right now. I said, you can either stop right now and we can continue the cruise, or you can get off right here.
Wonderful. Here is a salute to you, my captain. What a brave and polite and very diplomatical, yet a tight-slapped answer that you have given. Here is a salute to you. That's how it should be treated then. You want to enjoy, you be ethical and be friendly, or you want to mess up with the crew? They're human beings. They're not puppets or robots that they have feelings too.
So, of course, I had to tell my owner about this. And he said, you know what? You handled it perfectly. He says, and so I handled it with a balance. Really what I wanted to do was throw the guy off right then and there. But I also realized there could be a multi-million-dollar deal that I'm about to kill for my owner. Not that there's any value. There's no monetary value there. But so that's why, I gave the guy one more chance, you know. And so my owner was like, you handled this perfectly. And then the owner, in fact, got on the phone and he told the client of his, like, you do not treat my crew like this. If you do, you will never be allowed back on board again.
Wow.
And and then I've had maybe only a couple of other instances, but and I go straight to it and I nip it in the bud straight away. But I think that it also comes from your initial persona. It comes from your initial, how you carry yourself, your confidence. Because I think that from the moment people go back to charter, from the moment that the guests start communicating with me via email, via telephone, and then see me in person, I'd like to think that I have this persona that says that I won't take any crap. I will take the absolute best care of you. You will have the most amazing time, but you will treat me and my crew members with respect.
So true. Yeah. Lovely.
And really it takes guts and courage and competence to speak up. But the way I explain it is you have a moral obligation to yourself and to your crew.
Indeed.
You have to, because, and I said this in one of my last talks that I gave at one of the last boat shows. I said, think about this. As hard as speaking up is, if you don't, you're only perpetuating the problem.
Wow.
Think about it.
Wonderfully said, No, so true. The human behavior part, Well, this is very incredible in your insight, and I'm very glad and honored sincerely that, what you just said is not an eye-opening for me. For thousands, millions of people, young crews out there, they will get a good lesson about before even if they think that this industry is like a extravaganza, glamour, glitz and all, they also have to protect themselves and stay in the perimeter and not to let other people also to take advantage of you that by sending some signals and all. So I think communication, your pleasing personality is your asset or it's a barrier. We should understand that part too. Thanks. Very well said that, Kelly. Kelly, thanks so much for sharing your wise wisdom. Let's come back here now. Now, let's, Kelly, do this second round we call Make the World Hero Round. Make the World Happy Round. So are you ready for your short, sweet, humorous, short answers?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So this is for the mental chewing guide for yourself, myself, and for our audience. Now, what does lifestyle mean to you?
Happiness, I think is what it means. Yeah.
Now, you answered my second question, but I will still ask. So what does happiness mean to you?
Contentment, security, calm. That's what it means. Happiness means calmness.
Calm. Lovely. Okay, now you have dealt with a lot of happiness and success. So what does failure mean to you, if it means to you?
The pathway to success.
Ooh, that is my book name, actually.
Yes.
I'm a co-author of my book. It's called 17 Success Principles, Success for Pathway to Positive Mental Attitude.
Failing's so important. It's paramount. It's how we learn. We don't learn by succeeding. We learn by failing.
Lovely. And I will send you that book to you. I'll ask my team to post you that book. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Lovely. Thanks. Okay. One thing that world doesn't know about you. Or there can be many things, but one thing.
Oh my goodness. Many people don't know that I was a welder.
You were a welder?
I was.
Me too. High five here. I want to share true thing, which in my coaching and seminar I tell, I have done over 26 jobs. Among 17, they have fired me, and many I fired them. And where I've reached here today, running more than 4 or 5 businesses. But I was welder too. When I started my job career as a garage boy, mechanic, inventor,
That's
and
awesome.
I was doing welding, gas welding, and electric welding both.
That's awesome.
Thanks for sharing that. Okay, now Kelly, you have to choose one in this question. Okay, you have to choose one.
Okay.
What would you choose most in your life? Love, sex, money, or fame?
Love.
Why?
We're social animals. That's how we're biologically ingrained. I mean, money, I'm inundated by it all day, every day, and it doesn't make you any happier. It might make things a little more cush or convenient, but it doesn't make you any happier. Fame, I think, can be nice, but can sort of complicate things, because then you can't go anywhere without somebody knowing you, wanting to talk to you, somebody wanting or needing something for you all the time.
Yeah.
The other was success. I
Yes.
think that love and success, though, for me, almost go hand in hand. Because if I have love in my life, I feel successful.
Wow.
If I love my family and I have a family that loves me, isn't that the
You-
ultimate success?
Yes, indeed, indeed. What a powerful, what a profound, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually you have answered. You are one of the finest, honorable guests that have answered all 4 things in a very systematically. You put them in the place like the captain does. Everything in order. Thank you so much, Kelly. Okay,
Yeah.
next. What is most powerful? A thought, story, or idea, or all
Story.
3? Story. Wow. Thank you so much. That's why my theme of my show is thoughts, ideas, and story of yacht heroes, the lifestyle legends.
You need ideas.
Okay.
You need ideas, because with ideas comes growth.
Yeah. So true.
But you need stories, because with stories comes inspiration.
So true. Very nice. Inspiring. Yeah. Compelling.
And thoughts, I got nothing for you there.
Okay.
I have
Good.
lots of thoughts. So
I know. Lot of thoughts. There are millions of thoughts comes into mind. Okay. As you're not only honorable champion, world class yacht captain, but you're also coach, teacher, mentor. Also, you speak a lot of things. Now, 3 important I know there can be 3,000 or million. 3 important things which can help to start a new yachting career.
networking,
Okay.
tidy up your CV,
Lovely.
and work ethic.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Things to avoid in the yachting industry.
Partying. Don't make yourself look like a fool. I mean, it's just, think about it. It's a tiny little industry, and there's a good chance that, and especially when you go to a networking event,
Yes.
that there's alcohol, and then you engage in having alcohol, and then you went to the networking event to try to get a job, but now you lose your chances of getting a job because you've consumed way too much alcohol and you've made a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
I don't say avoid partying in its entirety, but drug and alcohol abuse. I have 3 things that I'm really passionate about: sexual harassment, bullying, and drug and alcohol abuse.
Yes. So true.
And there's an abuse of that in this industry. And if you can, it sounds so cliche, but drink responsibly, and not succumb to the peer pressure, not go out and just get, so sloshed and hammered that you're ridiculous and unsafe.
Yes.
So really watch that. So you wanted 3 things to avoid?
Yeah, you can, or any. There can be many, but these are the 3 things that which you just said, that it's very related to that, and it can impact a lot of the person's personality to get even the most good opportunity in this industry too, as well.
Yeah, it really can.
Especially for the young adults, people who are merging in this industry,
Yeah.
because they are the one who want to seek their career path.
Exactly.
Thanks for sharing that. Now, can you tell us what are the 3 things you carry when you leave your home?
My phone,
Okay.
my glasses,
Okay.
And my driver's license.
Woo! and your broad smile.
Yes.
Lovely. That's beautiful. Okay, we will remember that. Okay, now there are a lot of your fan followers. They want to know what you carry with yourself and all. Okay, now tell us, how do you navigate brand new ideas?
Oh, with an open mind, with curiosity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inquisitiveness. Like,
Lovely.
tell me more. Someone,
more.
if you come to me and I said I have this idea, my first response to you is going to be, okay, let me hear it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wide open. Like, the brain is just like ready to, let's hear it, you know?
Yeah. Lovely.
So yeah, that's
openness.
that's,
Thanks so much. Lovely. Thanks for sharing. Kelly, now you are in this industry. It's all the legends you meet, the lifestyle legends and all. What does lifestyle legend mean to you, and who are these people, according to you? You have seen the who's of the world. What does lifestyle legend mean to you, and who are these people? How to recognize?
A lifestyle legend is someone that's happy. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, think about it though. That's really a lifestyle legend, because it's not, okay, so you have a lot of money, you have the jets, the cars, the planes, the houses.
Yeah.
But are you happy?
Happy, yeah. So
and if
true.
you are, you're a freaking legend.
Ooh, I love that. That should be my title of this podcast. And actually, you answered my next question. What a coincidence. You were just reading my mind or something, or maybe, I don't know. My next question was actually, what is the quality of a wealthy and happy person? So you already answered that. So thanks so much for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, Kelly, tell us, never say that specific word or a sentence when a woman is angry.
I'm going to tell you because it happened to me. I wasn't angry, but I was hot. And I'm 43, so there might be some perimenopause going on. And I was really hot. I was up in the salon and I was working on my computer at the table. And I said to my engineer, I'm like, I'm really, really hot. And he knows that when I get hot, then I start to get a little grouchy. And his response to me was, oh, not let me check the C strainers, or, oh, not let me check the setting of it. His response to me was, is it your hormones?
Oh my Deep censored. Let's navigate. Go on a 3 knots instead of 30. Go on a 2 knots. Get into the dockyard. 2 knots, 3 knots. Don't go over that 5-10 knots.
The other one would be, so asking me if it's my hormones, or saying to a woman, calm down.
Okay,
Since
all right.
When in the history of all womankind has telling a woman to calm down ever worked?
Doesn't work, yeah.
Doesn't
so
work.
men out there who knows Kelly or who want to associate with Kelly in future, you should watch and listen this podcast and show that what to say and what not to say Kelly when she's angry. Very well said.
I gotta say, when he asked me if it was my hormones, we did laugh a little bit, because I actually told my whole crew, because I've been dealing with, I'm recently diagnosed hypothyroid, and we're also working with, and that's a hormone, and we're also working with some other hormones, because I probably am entering perimenopause. I'm 43, you know?
Yeah.
And so I told my crew, I told all of them. I said all of them at a crew meeting. I was like, guys, the doctor and I are adjusting my hormone levels right now. I said, so if I seem a little psycho or a little off, I said, please tell me. So there was also a little bit of a joke behind, is it your hormones? But I was like, did you really just say that to me?
Mind reader.
We laughed.
Lovely. So true. Now, you in the lifestyle industry, this question is, can you tell us, what is the best lifestyle advice you have ever received that has changed and impacted your lifestyle?
It really goes back to my mental health. So, and this, when you ask me the question, what is something that a lot of people might not know about me, I didn't want to use this answer at the time, but I can use it now, is that there was a period in my life and a specific instance that I was going to end my life, that I didn't want to be here anymore. And So what's really important in terms of your health is taking care of this thing right
Yes.
here,
Right.
and putting the work in, sorting it out. But then the thing that I did right after that specific instance, and which I stopped myself, and I waited until 8 o'clock in the morning to get into to the psychiatrist and the therapist, and did intensive work and really dug into what was going on in here, and I fixed it. The mistake I made after fixing it is that I forgot there was maintenance.
Yeah.
And so put the work in to fix whatever you need to fix.
Nice.
But
Very nice.
continue to take care of it and maintain it. And it really is a lifelong process. And I spend a lot of time every day in here keeping this thing healthy and happy. That's
I love it. Healthy and happy. And that is actually, my greeting is from over 20 plus years. When people ask me, so how are you today? A lot of cliches and say like, not bad. How are you doing? I'm good. I swear, this is my mantra since over almost from childhood. When someone asks me, how are you today? I say, I'm healthy and happy.
See?
And I reflect that thing, and my mother gave me this profound name, so healthy and happy. Okay, it's all about you. So now, please tell us about, you have seen very elite, sophisticated people in your life, and some opposite too. Now, Kelly, do you agree that one should pick a spouse who is more smarter than them?
Well, I think you should surround yourself with a room full of people smarter than you.
Oh, so nice. Yeah.
I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. And I tell my crew that all the time. I'm like, if you're the smartest one in the room, you got a problem. I'm like, because you don't grow. You don't grow in life by being the smartest one in the room. Yeah. And so yes, spouse, friend, whatever it is, you want people in your bubble that bring something to the table to help make you a better person and to help you grow. I don't, to me, if I'm the dumbest person in the room, that's great, because that means everybody else around me is smarter, and look how much I get to learn. But
you can learn a lot, yes.
Yeah.
What a wise answer. I knew it. This will be your answer, but I wanted to know from you too. So definitely, here is a salute for you. Okay, now we have a few questions and we'll wrap up the show. Now, Kelly, this is imagination question, okay? This is the imagination question, okay? Now, you believe in God or universe, so whatever you believe in. If God or universe you believe in makes you a man for a day, what will you do more of and less of?
Oh, wow. Whew.
If God or universe makes you a man for a day, what will you do more of and less of?
If I was a man for a day, I would go out of my way to really care for the women that were around me.
Oh, wow. Impressive. And everybody would have a crush on you, even the married single woman out there. Thank you so much for this answer. Yeah. I love that. Okay, this is another imagination question, and just in a reality. But imagine if you would be the host of the show, and if I would be the guest of the show, what question you would have asked me?
Oh, what is your definition of happiness and success?
Well, these both things are very profound, and I don't want to rush you to answer. This is a very prominent question I've been asked ever. So thanks for this lovely question and meaningful definition of happiness and success. I think every person on Mother Earth is already have inbuilt happiness and success. They need to define and portray their pleasing personality skills to the world. And it's already within us, the way we pursue ourselves. So happiness and success, I will combine into one word, is the most important word in any dictionary, is attitude. If my attitude towards the world is good, the world's attitude towards with me good. If my attitude is okay, it will be okay. If my attitude towards the world is excellent, it will be excellent towards me. So my attitude defines my happiness and success in all the given circumstances and situations. Because circumstances never change the person, it reveals him or her.
You're right. You're right. So you feel as passionately about attitude as I do mindset.
Yeah. So attitude, mindset, yes. Because in every given situation, we have the power of over our gigantic mind to reciprocate and respond accordingly. Either I respond in anger or joy, and happiness or sadness. Because we are emotional creature, no doubt. Because happiness and success will determine on my attitude towards what I have cultivated or what I want or where I'm heading towards my future career and goal purpose. So all these things which is not in my reach, it is my attitude towards that, how I want to achieve it. Will that give me happiness and success? Or I'm already a successful and happiest person in the world. It determines on my attitude how I portray myself and project myself. So I think happiness and success is already within us. It is we need to unlock that hidden potential. I think so. And I don't know whether I answered your question or not.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you so much. Okay, two more last question, and then we go. Okay,
Okay.
we can here for a whole day, but then we will meet someday on the yacht, and we will do more sessions in the live, as you said, the series. So, what is your favorite word or a quote?
What is my favorite word?
Word or a mantra or a quote which you reflect or use, which is one of your favorite.
Ooh. It would have to have the words. It would have to have the words mindset in it, but it would also have to have there's.
It can be anything. It can be multiple words or a line or a quote. Yeah.
And it's what they mean to me. So it's like what mindset means to me. It's
Okay.
Another big buzzword that comes up to me is the word failure.
Oh, wow.
Because failing is your ultimate way to success.
Yeah.
But your mindset is the ability to be able to perceive that failure as a success.
Wow. Now you have made my propeller of my mind running in a forward motion instead of reverse gear.
Yeah.
My propeller of my mind is running with your profound answer. Thank you so much for this answer. Okay, Kelly, now tell us, what is your message to the beautiful people of the world?
You know, if I could have for anything for the people of the world is, I hope that just sharing my little bit of story and life with you is that it inspires you to live your best life. And even if my story doesn't, I hope for you and encourage you to live your best life and if you're not there yet, to put the work in, because I put the work in, and I'm so glad that I put the work in, because at 39, I said I'm the happiest I've ever been, and I'm about to be 43, and I'm still saying that I'm the happiest I've ever been. So I hope that inspires you to live your best life, because I went from not to being on top of the world now.
Yes. Wow. What a great message. Thank you so much. It's an honor and pleasure to you. Now, tell us, how did you like this Yacht Heroes show?
I loved it. I think it's amazing. Yeah,
yes.
No, I think this is going to be fantastic.
Lovely. It's an honor and pleasure, Kelly. You have spent your precious time here. Wise wisdom, your thoughts, ideas, and untold story, which is remarkable. That's why you are the Yacht Hero here today on the show. And as I said, that Yacht Hero, what does mean according to me is the movers and the shaker of the yachting industries are the Yacht Heroes. And you are one of the hero and honored me with my first episode. What a great honor and all. Please tell, Kelly, last question. Tell us, how do you define or say yachting industry in one word?
Adventure.
Damn it. Service and adventure. That's my motto. I grew up with that philosophy. Service and adventure. And yep. I like adventure. Thanks so much. Thank you so much to you, Kelly, and your precious time. And thanks to all the listeners all around the world, Kelly's fan and yacht owners and marinas and builders and investors and brokers, wherever you are, stay excellent to each other. And we will come back with more Yacht Heroes on our show and keep continuing inviting Kelly according to our schedule to share more wise wisdom and to do more shows like this so we can inspire each other to learn and grow and flourish with the thoughts, ideas, and the story of the Yacht Heroes. So our hero is Kelly Gordon, Captain Kelly Gordon. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Lovely. Thank you. Here's my double salute to you. Thanks.
A man needs a purpose in life. Everybody needs a purpose in life. A man without purpose is like ship without radar. So why do we need purpose? Why do we need captain in our life? To take and to navigate our life to the right path, to the right journey. That's why Kelly Gordon comes in picture, to guide us on board and off board too, to mentor us in the way that we do not drift in our life. So man without purpose is like ship without radar and will be drifting round and round and round. So we need captains. We need mentors in our life. It is my great honor and pleasure that Kelly Gordon has given us time to share her untold stories, to guide us to the path of righteousness and joy and happiness.